When your cat looks at you, do you know what they actually see? You probably think they see their owner, maybe their favourite person, maybe the one who fills the food bowl twice a day. But the truth is, your cat has never once looked at you and seen a human. What they see instead changes everything about how you should bond with them. And most owners have no idea, which means they're missing signals their cat sends every single day. Signals that have been right there in front of them since the very first day that cat walked into their life. Stay with me till the end, because the last point on this list is the one that's going to change how you look at your cat forever. Let's start with what your cat really sees when they look at you. 1. They think you're just a really big cat. Have you ever wondered why your cat treats you nothing like a dog treats its owner? No excitement at the door, no desperate need to please you, no tail wagging the second your key turns in the lock. And honestly, that's not coldness, that's respect. Because according to animal behaviourist John Bradshaw, who spent years studying how cats interact with humans, cats have never developed a separate social behaviour for us. Dogs did. Dogs evolved a whole new set of expressions, postures and signals just for humans over thousands of years of domestication. Cats didn't. Cats never bothered. When your cat approaches you, rubs against your leg, or grooms your hand, they are using the exact same behaviour they would use with another cat. In their mind, you are not their owner. You are not their master. You are just a really big, really clumsy cat who somehow ended up in their colony. Think about that for a second. Every head bump, every slow blink, every time they curl up next to you on the couch, that's not a cat performing affection for a human. That's a cat including you in their world the only way they know how, as one of their own kind. And that honestly might be the biggest compliment they could ever give you, because it means they see you as one of them, not above them, not separate from them, equal. You can actually see this play out in 100 small ways once you start paying attention. When your cat sits with their back to you in a room, that's not them ignoring you. That's the kind of trust a cat only shows another cat they consider safe. Because exposing your back means you're not worried about being attacked. When your cat headbutts your hand, they're depositing scent from glands on their face, the same thing they do to another cat in their colony to mark you as family. Even the way they choose to sleep near you, often just close enough to touch but not always directly on top of you, mirrors exactly how cats in a colony sleep near trusted companions. None of these behaviours were invented for humans. They're simply being aimed at you because, as far as your cat's brain is concerned, there was never a separate category created for human in the first place. And here's what most people never realise. That belief your cat holds, that you are part of their world, actually shapes something much deeper than just how they greet you. It shapes their sense of territory, their sense of safety, even their sense of family. Later in this video, we're going to look at what scientists recently discovered about how that bond physically changes the way your cat handles stress and fear. And when you hear it, the way you see your cat will never be the same. 2. They bring you dead things to teach you. Why does your cat drop a dead mouse at your feet and stare at you like they just handed you a gift? Most people laugh it off. Some get grossed out, maybe even scold the cat for it. But what if that moment is actually one of the most selfless things your cat ever does for you? Because here's what's really happening. In the wild, mother cats bring back prey to their kittens, not to show off, to teach them how to survive. It's a structured lesson. First, the mother brings dead prey so the kittens learn what food looks like. Then she brings injured prey so the kittens can practice the kill themselves. It's a curriculum, step by step, built into their instincts over millions of years. And when your cat does the same thing with you, they are running that exact same instinct. Except this time, you are the one they're trying to raise. They watch you every day. You never chase anything. You never hunt. You just open a loud, cold box and pull food out of it, like magic, like you've never had to work for a single meal in your life. In their eyes, you are hopeless. You are, frankly, the worst hunter they have ever seen. and instead of giving up on you, they step in. Some cats start by bringing dead prey. Others bring it half alive to give you a chance to practice, to give you one more shot at learning the skill they think you're missing. And if your cat has ever dropped a toy at your feet and meowed at you, that could be the indoor version of the same lesson, a substitute hunt for a cat who has nothing else to teach with. Now, to be fair, not every object your cat brings you is a hunting lesson. Sometimes it's just an invitation to play. My cat, for example, brings me the cap from a water gallon like it's a little frisbee, so I can throw it, and he goes running after it like his life depends on it. So pay attention to the context. If they drop it and stare, that's teaching. If they drop it and get excited, bouncing around, tail twitching, eyes wide, that's play. Either way, they chose you. Out of every living being in that house, they decided you were the one worth teaching, worth playing with, worth including in this small, strange ritual. And hey, if this is changing the way you see your cat right now, hit like and subscribe so we can help more cat parents understand what their cat has been trying to tell them all along. 3. Your face is a blur to your cat. Have you ever held your face right in front of your cat and felt like they were looking straight through you? That's because they literally can't see you clearly. Anything closer than about 10 inches from their face is blurry and out of focus. That means every time you lean in for a close moment with your cat, every time you press your forehead against theirs in what feels like the sweetest gesture in the world, your face is nothing but a soft, fuzzy shape to them. And it doesn't get much sharper at a distance either. Cats see the world in a permanent soft focus compared to us. Where humans see crisp edges and fine details, your cat sees outlines and shapes, a world that looks a little like an impressionist painting all the time. So if you've ever wondered whether your cat recognizes your face the way you recognize theirs, the answer is probably not. Your cat does not memorize your features. They don't notice your haircut, your new glasses, or that you forgot to shave. But here's where it gets fascinating. What your cat lacks in detail, they more than make up for in motion detection. Their eyes are built to track the smallest, fastest movements with incredible precision. A twitch of a finger, a bug crawling across the wall, the slightest shift in your body language. They catch all of it instantly, almost before you've even finished the movement. This is a survival adaptation built for hunting in low light, for catching prey that moves in fractions of a second. And that's exactly why your cat sometimes can't seem to find the treat you're holding right in front of their nose. You're offering it from your hand, inches from their face, perfectly still. And they're sniffing around like it doesn't exist. It's not that they're being difficult or dramatic. They genuinely cannot see it sitting still that close to their face, so they rely on smell to find what their eyes can't. And that's actually how they recognize you too. Not by your face, by how you move, how you sound, and how you smell. Your cat doesn't carry a picture of you in their mind the way you carry a picture of them. They carry the entire feeling of you, your footsteps on the stairs, the particular pitch of your voice, the scent that clings to your clothes after a long day. That composite, that whole body signature, is what tells your cat this is my person long before their eyes ever could. This is also why a cat can sometimes seem startled or even hostile towards someone after they've taken a shower, changed perfume, or come home from a place that left a strong new scent behind. For a split second, the visual blur combined with an unfamiliar smell genuinely confuses your cat's recognition system. They're not being moody. They're momentarily unsure whether the soft, blurry shape in front of them is actually you. Give it a few minutes, let them sniff you properly, and watch how quickly they relax once your real scent comes through underneath the new one. It's a small reminder that everything you think your cat understands visually, they're actually piecing together through an entirely different set of senses than the ones you rely on. 4. Their meow was invented just for you. Have you ever stopped to wonder why your cat meows at you so much, sometimes for what feels like no reason at all? Here's something that might surprise you. Adult cats almost never meow at other cats. It's just not part of how they communicate with each other. They use body language, scent marking, hissing, growling and posture. But meowing, that's reserved for one audience only. You kittens meow to get their mother's attention. It's a survival tool, a way to say, I'm hungry, I'm cold, I need you, come find me. And as they grow up and leave their mother behind, most cats stop doing it entirely with other cats. Except for one situation. When they live with humans, your cat figured out very early on that you don't read body language the way another cat would. You miss the slow blinks. You ignore the tail signals. You walk right past a flattened ear or a swishing tail without a second thought. You are, in cat terms, basically deaf to everything they're trying to say with their bodies. So they adapted. They brought back the one sound they used as a baby and shaped it, refined it, and aimed it directly at you. And here's the part most people don't realise. Your cat's meow isn't generic. Over time, they develop a specific vocabulary with their owner, almost like a private dialect that exists nowhere else in the world. The meow for food doesn't sound like the meow for attention. The meow at the door doesn't sound like the meow at 3 a.m, when they just want you to wake up for absolutely no reason except that they felt like it. Researchers have even found that owners can often identify their own cat's specific meows far better than they can identify a stranger's cat, simply because that vocabulary was built between the two of you, and only the two of you, over months and years of living together. So when your cat meows at you, don't brush it off. That sound doesn't exist in the wild. It was created because your cat decided you were worth the effort of building an entirely new form of communication. That's not just noise. That's not just a demand for food. That's evolution bending in your direction, one meow at a time. 5. That needing habit goes back to their very first meal. You know the move. Your cat climbs onto your lap, gets that faraway look in their eyes, and starts pressing their paws into you, one after the other, almost like they're making bread. Some cats even drool a little or purr so hard you can feel it in your chest. Most people just call it making biscuits and leave it at that, a cute quirk and nothing more. But this behaviour actually has a very specific origin, and once you know it, you'll never see it the same way again. Kittens need their mother while nursing. That pressing motion stimulates milk flow. It's a built-in mechanical reflex that helps them get fed in the first weeks of life. It's one of the very first physical actions a kitten ever learns, long before they can walk properly or open their eyes all the way. So when your adult cat climbs onto you and starts kneading, in that exact moment, on some deep instinctive level, they are treating you the way they treated their mother. They are returning, just for a few minutes, to the safest memory their body knows. This is also why kneading is almost always paired with purring, with half-closed eyes, with a kind of dreamy, far-off expression. Your cat isn't performing for you. They're not doing it because they think it looks cute. They've slipped into a state that predates everything else in their life, a state of total trust, total safety, total dependence. And the fact that they choose to go there with you, on your lap, in your home, means you are the one being who makes them feel safe enough to be that vulnerable. A cat who doesn't trust you will never need on you. They'll need a blanket, a pillow, anything that isn't a threat. But when they choose your actual body, claws and all, that's about as close to I feel safe with you completely as a cat is ever going to get. So the next time your cat starts kneading your lap, even if it stings a little, even if you have to grab a blanket to protect your legs, remember what's actually happening. You're not just being used as a pillow, you're being trusted the way a kitten trusts its mother, and very few things a cat does are a higher compliment than that. 6. Even their tail is talking to you. Most owners think a cat's tail only has 2 settings, happy and angry, but your cat's tail is closer to a second language, constantly broadcasting information you've probably been missing for years. A tail held straight up, often with a slight curl or quiver at the tip, is one of the clearest signs of affection a cat can give. It's the equivalent of a warm smile, a greeting reserved almost exclusively for people and animals they trust. A slow, gentle sweep of the tail while they sit calmly usually means contentment. but a tail that's thrashing hard and fast, that's not excitement, that's overstimulation, a warning that they need space before claws come out. And here's the part that surprises most people. Cats don't usually develop this expressive tail language for hostility toward humans. They develop it for connection. A kitten raised without much human contact tends to rely far less on tail signals directed at people. But a cat who has bonded closely with an owner starts using their tail almost like a conversation partner, checking in, signalling mood, inviting interaction. So the next time your cat walks into the room with their tail held high, quivering slightly as they approach you, recognize it for what it is. That's not a random twitch. That's your cat saying hello in the only dialect they've got. 7. You are the reason they can fully relax. Have you ever walked into a room and watched your cat go from alert to completely melted in seconds? Ears go soft, eyes half close, they roll onto their side and just breathe. You probably thought they were just tired. But what if you are the reason that shift happens? In 2019, researchers at Oregon State University ran an attachment study on cats that changed everything we thought we knew. They put cats in an unfamiliar room with their owner, then removed the owner for 2 minutes and brought them back, mirroring a classic test originally designed to study attachment in human infants and their mothers. What they found shocked the scientific community. Over 60% of the cats showed what psychologists call a secure attachment style. That means when their owner returned, the cat relaxed, explored the room, and went back to being calm. Without their owner, they were stressed, vocal, and withdrawn, pacing near the door, calling out, clearly searching. Sound familiar? This is the exact same attachment response that human babies show with their mothers. The same bond, the same emotional wiring, the same biological architecture for trust and safety, just wearing fur and whiskers instead of skin. In fact, the percentage of cats showing secure attachment in this study, just over 60%, was almost identical to the percentage of human infants, and even pet dogs, who show the same pattern in their own version of this test. For decades, scientists assumed cats were too independent, too self-contained, to form this kind of deep attachment to a single person. This study quietly proved that assumption wrong. Cats were never aloof. They simply never had a way to tell us otherwise. And here's what makes it hit even harder. Remember in the beginning when we talked about how your cat sees you as just another cat in their colony? This is what that belief leads to. They don't just see you as an equal. They see you as their safe place, the one presence that tells their entire nervous system that everything is okay. Your cat doesn't need you to be perfect. They don't need you to understand every signal, every tail flick, every meow on the very first try. They just need you to be there, consistently, day after day, ordinary moment after ordinary moment. Because to your cat, you are not a human. You are not an owner. You are not even, in the way they experience it, a different species at all. You are home. So the next time your cat stares at you with that blank, unreadable expression, remember everything you just learnt. Remember the meow built only for you, the tail held high just for you, the kneading that takes them back to the safest moment of their life. The dead mouse left at your feet as a lesson meant only for you. None of that is random. All of it is your cat, in their own quiet four-legged way, telling you that you matter more than you ever realised. Most people spend years living with a cat and never learn a single thing on this list. They assume the silence, the slow blinks, the staring, all mean nothing, or worse. That their cat simply doesn't care the way a dog would. But now you know better. You know that every rub against your leg, every meow shaped just for your ears, every paw pressed gently into your lap, is your cat speaking a language built entirely around you. They didn't learn it from a book. They didn't learn it from other cats. They built it from scratch, just for the strange, clumsy, oversized cat who happens to share their home. If this video changed the way you see your cat, even a little, let us know in the comments which point surprised you the most. hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because there's a lot more about your cat's hidden world that we haven't even covered yet.